Is that fine? And today we are going to be discussing the power of self-belief. The power of self-belief. And if I have done a good work, I want you to be empowered for self-belief and to overcome every negative attitude that contaminates your self-belief. Are we fine? Are we good? Awesome. How many people in this room know what self-belief is and perhaps boast of having self-belief in themselves? Do you guys believe in yourself? You think you believe you believe in yourself? Come here. Yes. You believe in yourself. What makes you say you believe in yourself? Tell us.
Hi guys.
Hi guys, she says. Yeah.
Okay. I believe in myself because I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in my values, and I don't think that there is anybody who will make me like drift away from what I believe and think about myself.
Thank you. Girl on fire. Do you guys have the same amount of confidence in yourself? You do. Kids nowadays, I must admit, kids nowadays are built different. In my time, I don't know if we had this amount of self-belief. So who wants to define what they think self-belief is? A working definition for today's meeting. Come on, somebody, come to me. Come and define it here. It's part of the exercise. You believe in yourself. Come and stand here and define it to us. We are putting your self-belief to the test. See how it runs. Come on, anybody, just jump up and come and define self-belief in your way. Doesn't have to be the dictionary definition, just your way. I want to see something. We want to see something. You said you have self-belief. Come up. Anybody, please? Come up. Oh, she's coming. She's scared, but she's coming. Feel it and do it anyway. Yes, clap for her. She's doing something we couldn't do. Wow, that's bold. Yeah, what do you think is self-belief?
I think self-belief is believing in that you can do each and every single thing that you set your mind to if you have the consistency to do it.
Wow, that's powerful, right? Do you think you have self-belief before you go far? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Wow. Okay, let me see somebody who says, I don't think I have enough self-belief. Just honestly. Even that is hard to answer, right? Should we get into self-belief and perhaps look into ourselves closely? That's fun. Let's do that. Let's do that. So here's the thing. As we grow older, right, life narrows down. It boils down to exactly who you are. No longer bearing on the people that have fanned your flame all your life. It comes down to the bottom line, and you are that bottom line, right? Things happen because you make them happen. Things begin to work because you make them work. That's exactly what I'm trying to communicate. Life boils down to you, right? That marriage works because you make it work. You get that degree because you work hard towards it. Not because your mom is sponsoring you, not because the government is sponsoring you, not because your neighbor thinks you can, but because you work it. So life almost comes down to the bottom line, and you are that bottom line. All right? So self-belief is the best thing that can ever happen to a person. Self-belief is self-belief is the best thing that can ever happen to an individual. Self-belief is a great asset in your hands. It's something that you can use to begin to craft the kind of life and reality that you want for yourself. Listen to this. Self-belief in one person, self-belief in your heart is stronger than 1,000,000 opposers against you. If you believe in yourself, nobody and nothing can put you down. Nobody and nothing can tell you otherwise. Nobody and nothing can keep you from reaching and achieving that which you believe you can do. That is what self-belief is, and that's how it works. So why I was happy today, I've been writing a book, and it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. That's one of the reasons I was happy, right? And it's simply titled Turning Potential into Results. So the book is done, Turning Potential into Results. And allow me to read an excerpt from it. It says, self-belief is the wind beneath your wings on board your flight to success. It is the separating line between the haves and the have-nots. It's the reason why people more talented, more gifted, more knowledgeable have nothing to show for their potential, whereas nominal people and their efforts rank high. That is sort of what self-belief is and what it does. As I was becoming and coming into my own, I observed a lot of life, right? I observed a lot of people that did the things I believed I had the talent to do. And I was asking myself, how come they are where they are and I'm on the other side of lack of results for reason of the same talent and potential? I really studied them. Talk about V. Mampizi. I'm like, oh, surely I sing better than V. How come he's richer than me? This was me, right? Talk about Chamagel. I'm not sure I know any of your songs, but talk about Chamagel. She was this celebrity, and I was nothing. For while we had the same talent, question was, how come she has it and I don't? So I studied these people that had turned their potential into something. And I was like, how come they did it and I didn't? How come they did it and I don't do it? And one of those lines, those separating lines, ladies and gentlemen, is self-belief. It's the line that stands between the haves and the have-nots. So if you ever wonder, how come some people build their businesses and they scale up to millions and you sort of just are stuck with a brilliant idea? One of the reasons could be self-belief. At the very fundamental level of things, self-belief is the winds that propel us towards our desired destinations. There's a story in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 10:7. It paints a picture that says the servants were riding on horsebacks while princes were walking on foot. Can you picture it? Servants on horsebacks while princes are walking on foot. The most talented in the room, stuck with their talent, yet with no results to show for them, while very bare minimum gifted people, averagely gifted people, sort of almost are leading the pack. It's irritating to know that kind of like the guys. I can do better than Brian. Have you seen those kind of instances? Who are you trying to convince? The difference between you and them standing on your aspiration, as it were, which is their reality, is the self-belief with which they package themselves, or flew rather, into their reality. So self-belief stands as that telling line, the separated line between the haves and the have-nots. The opposite of self-belief, on the other hand, is simply self-doubt. If you don't believe in yourself, then you automatically doubt yourself, right? And with self-doubt, this is how grave self-doubt is. With self-doubt, it doesn't matter that even God says you are as brilliant as they come. It doesn't matter that even God believes in you. If you can't believe in yourself, even if the whole world is cheering you on, you will never quite see exactly what everybody else is seeing. So self-belief is a necessity, first and foremost. emanating from you, coming from you, from your gut, from your very depth. And nobody can cure it, can cure self-doubt for you. Only self-belief can cure self-doubt in you. You get it? No matter the best person in the room believing rather in you, if you don't believe in yourself, it all comes down to nothing. It all comes down to nothing. So the opposite of self-belief is self-doubt. And nobody can help you out of it. You just have to cure yourself. Self-doubt is by all standards self-imprisonment. It is one of the chief reasons why people get to the end of their life and have very little to show. Very little results to show for their existence. It's the reason some people never crack the code into living. There's a difference between living and existing, and why they are almost caught up in existing. Time ticking, but nothing to show. Yet they know inside of themselves that I bet there are some of you here who can run faster than those 4 boys or however many boys were that got gold the other day. I'm sure there are some people in this room that are more capable than somebody who was just awarded for something the other day. The difference between us and them is self-belief. Is that fine? Are we together thus far? When we are growing up, we are given to parents. When we are growing up, we are given to tutors, to teachers in our school years. We are given to siblings. And all of these people do their best to push us in the ways of self-belief, right? They give us feedback. Well done. Our parents always cheering us on. But when we grow up, we come to the cold realization that all of what they did was to give us a tempo for us to arrive at a place where we do it for ourselves. Because it's our responsibility at the end of the day to be and to do for ourselves what in our growing up years they try so hard to give us. So you are to develop, as it were, an attitude of self-belief. Because without it, you won't be able to take off. Remember, self-belief is the wings upon which we take flight into the successful destinations that we want for ourselves. Self-belief is the reason you are going to pass that exam. Self-belief is the reason you are going to graduate on time. Self-belief is the reason you are going to go after that girl. Self-belief is the reason you are going to go after that Self-belief is the reason you're going to position yourself so that that guy can come around and do what he's supposed to do. That's better, right? That's better. That's better. But yes, the drawing line is self-belief. Self-belief will be the reason why you become anything worth celebration. So when I was younger, my mom was my biggest cheerleader. All the way into my adulthood, she cheered me on. She believed in me. Eh? You understand? Yes, she was all of that for me. Sometimes I sing, and she loved my singing. She loved my music. After every performance, if I may use that word, she'd come and give me feedback. Where's your loads and you know, and I'd feel good about myself. I'd stand tall on her shoulders and on her words out of the feedback that I was getting from her. Fast forward, she goes and she comes to a place where she's not able to readily give me the feedback or give me the feedback at all as she used to, right? It boils down to me now. Me now. What am I going to do? Who's going to tell me I did good? But there was a season actually in this whole journey that I coined a phrase that I'm a feedback junkie. I thought I was being fancy. Meanwhile, I was malfunctioning. I called myself a feedback junkie. So how was it? You know, if my mother is not giving me the feedback, let me go to somebody who will give it to me. So how was it? Yeah, and I knew how to solicit it out of the people, right? So how was it? And they would give me, and I'll feel good about myself. I'd feel good about myself. Much like this social media, yeah, world that we live in. If the likes are few, you think there's something wrong, right? If the views are not as much as you'd hoped for, you think there's something wrong. So maybe you think you believe in yourself, but question is, do you really? Or are you flying and riding, and like me, as at some point, are you a junkie of the feedback that's making you actually feel good about yourself? So a time came, and this year, I wish I had remembered this one time. I would have gotten the clip of it, of that 3 minutes performance that I had at the conference the other day, when I was wearing that beautiful dress. Right? So I had the most biggest 3 minutes of my life presenting one of the songs that I had written. And I don't want to say for the first time, because it had been a while coming in, but when it was all said and done, I didn't need anybody to hit me up with any feedback. I stood in that moment and I was like, yeah, I did great. I was exceptional. I was the best that I could have been in that moment, right? I was free. I was no longer a junkie, an addict of feedback that made me feel good about myself. I felt good all by myself, knowing that I gave in that moment all that I could have given, and it was good, and it was perfect, and it was everything it needed to be. And it was everything it needed to be. So that is the bottom line that we need to all arrive at. A place where we can feel good from ourselves. Not because your mom is telling you you are intelligent. Not because your boyfriend is telling you you are beautiful. Not because your lecturer is telling you you've got all it takes to actually make it in this industry. It all needs to stem out and up from you. Your conviction of yourself, and from yourself, by yourself, to yourself. Look, you can do it, you can say it from all directions. The bottom line is it has to come from you, to you. So as much as I loved it when she did it for me, but finally I owned my own space. And I knew how to give myself the feedback that I needed. And it's a very empowering place to be in a space where you do not count on the next person to tell you about you. It's a very powerful place to be in, to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and come out with every reason why you should, no matter who thinks what. So that's the place I found myself in. And it was such a liberating space. So many make excuses of lack of support, that nobody stood with them, nobody encouraged them, as their reason for not doing anything. Question is, why do you feel and or think you need the support of other people? Why? You know those people who would actually have the nerve to say, my parents didn't believe in me. You people didn't support me. You people didn't support me. Why do you think you need people's support to live out your convictions? Who told you we owe you any of that? Who told you you deserve any of that from us? We are busy working for ourselves, for our own self-belief. We are busy encouraging ourselves to have time to come down your corner and sponsor you. Right? So many people give excuses. I didn't have anybody to tell me that I could, and that is the reason I didn't make it. No, nobody is coming. Listen to me. The lack of self-belief can present itself in two ways. Lack of self-belief can present itself in two ways: a seemingly positive way and an utterly negative way. And seemingly positive way is all the compliments that we get and hear after we have done something. That you rejoice that you count the views that have come by you, that you count the reactions, the likes, the heartings that have come by you, and you joy in that and it makes you feel good about yourself, should really inform you of your level of self-belief. It's not real. It's very, what's the word they use? It's not real. It's not even sustainable. You are riding on other people's reactions towards you to make you actually feel good about yourself. If social media was to shut down, you are going to be one of the most vulnerable people. Because the thing that you used to thrive and to survive and to actually feel good about yourself has been taken away from you. Right? So sometimes a seemingly positive way, that is a way to tell that somebody really lacks self-belief, is the amount of euphoria and intoxication that we get from the compliments that people give us, that people feed us by. And then a negative way is never taking a step in the direction of your dreams because you fear and you feel you do not have enough in you. Now that is just a very catastrophic level of lack of self-belief. You just never venture. Even though you're riding in other people's compliments is better because they at least used it to venture into something. But when you are crippled to even take a chance for reason of lack of self-belief. But the truth of the matter is, in all these two instances, ladies and gentlemen, nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you feedback. Nobody owes you a reaction. Nobody owes you anything. At all times, you bear the responsibility to believe in yourself, and that's it. You owe the responsibility to believe in yourself, and that's it. Because when life comes to it, when life falls to the bottom line, you are the one to be found standing. And depending on how much you have or don't have, you are to answer. So nobody believes in you. Nobody owes you to believe in you. Better yet. So how to believe in yourself? Let's get into it. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 pointers of how to believe in yourself. Number 1, accept yourself. Tell your neighbor, accept yourself. Tell somebody else, accept yourself. I told you, one of the most liberating things that came for me after I turned 40 was accepting that this is what I have to work with. Oh, this is as good as it gets. Oh, this is all I have to work with. You know, it was coming into a place where I was no longer trying to change anything, but accepted what I have and worked with that. So the first thing is self-belief. You can achieve in your 20s now what took me a little longer, you know, and turning 40 to actually begin to embrace. Wow. Wow. Cheat code. So the first thing is to accept yourself. Accept how you are. Accept that nothing about you is a mistake. The way you were built. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. One of the people that taught me very painful lessons on self-love is Coach. My coach. I was going to say my coach. It's Coach. That man was thriving in self-love that I was beginning to despise him for it. I felt like he was cheating me in the way that he was loving himself and thriving in it. So I finally came to saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And I joined him. And I've been learning and exercising myself in self-love, loving myself. That is where I came up with the phrase, what you love, you permit. I was actually talking about loving yourself. If you love yourself, you will permit yourself to your dreams. You will say yes to yourself for your dreams. You will say yes to yourself for your becoming. Because I was realizing that it's easy to do that for the next person. Think about it. For some of you here that may be parents, or even children to your parents, you've seen how they would give their best, right? Parents would give their best to their children to take them to the best schools in accordance with their capabilities. There's no amount of money they would withhold to give the best to their children. In other words, they love their children so much, they do their best to permit their children to becoming the best that they could be. But we never take the same formula and apply it to ourselves. It's easy to do it for the next person, but never really for yourself. Would you take as much as you would raise to go pay a semester fee for your child's school to actually invest in your becoming? Would you? Would you spend the same amount of money you would in your child to get them that kit that the basketball team needs, that prom dress, those clothes, to do the same for yourself? You will realize that a lot of people are lacking in self-love, yet they want to come out as everybody's hero. So I brought it down to myself to saying, the same way you have loved everybody into their dream, the same way you have loved everybody into their becoming, the same way you have cheered them on, the same way you have believed in them, turn it around and do that for yourself. Sponsor yourself for your dream. Believe in yourself for your dream. Love yourself hard enough to permit yourself to become. So this is the result of that. So take it with you from this place. Accept yourself. Love yourself hard enough to begin to sponsor yourself for your becoming. For your becoming, for your dreams, for the success that you desire. The Bible says, love yourself. Love your neighbor rather. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. But we have mastered the art of, we have not even mastered it, because you cannot even begin to love anybody effectively if it has not begun with you. So whatever toxic love we have mastered to love others by, toxic in the sense that it has not been tried and proven. For we have to first try it and prove it with ourselves. Right? So, bring it down first to yourself. Accept yourself. Love yourself hard enough. Allow me to read you an excerpt from that book I was talking about. She says, and I love that. Actually, I do that a lot. When I quote myself, I wish I was standing on a taller podium for this one. That's how important it is. When I speak about anything that I said, I quote her in the third person. She said, because she's an authority in her own right. Do you understand? I thank you for understanding. So she says, and this she, I mean me, but she says, let's listen to her like it's somebody else. She says, I have looked around my world for some time, curious about the men and women that have risen to success. In all instances, I'm blown away by how, even while some may have not measured up to my standards or the standards of many other doubters around them, they still believed in themselves hard enough to take a chance on themselves and express their potentials. Remember what I said. And I like to use thee really affectionately for this example, because he's not giving us vocal ability, he's just giving us heart, passion. He was convinced. He just packaged himself and sold himself and became a star. It's that simple. Who set the standard of nice? By whose standards? By whose standards? His voice is nice, in accordance with his own standard. He said that, and we believed him because he believed in himself. So I watched these men and women who took a chance on themselves. believed in themselves and took a chance on themselves. And how they became something worthy of celebration. And I was jealous and I retaliated. So what? In that they took the steps. They loved themselves hard enough. They accepted how much they had. They realized that, look, I cannot change this. I cannot buy a better voice any other place. This is what I have to work with. And I'm going to work with it. And I'm going to do my best out of it. Today, all of Southern Africa, perhaps all of Africa knows V. He's a star. He's a star. Not because he's better than you or me, but because he believed in himself. He accepted himself. He traded and gave his potential a chance. He's better than most. Better than most. Oh, and that guy is such a believer in himself. Access to it. But V has a way of believing that he can just do something special with the ordinary. And he ventured that. Levita. Meanwhile, with every drink, he's getting something into his account. And then he looked around in his environment again. What can I work with? Boroto. And he ventured into that. Out of self-belief. Out of self-belief. Nothing extraordinary, just self-belief. So accept who you are, how much you have to work with, and work with that. And he's great. I love him too. Actually, he's been an example in most of my teachings because I'm fascinated by how he just took a chance on himself. He took a chance on himself. And that's what success is made up of. People that take chances on themselves. You don't need to be more than what you are. You don't need to be taller. That V didn't need height. He didn't condemn himself for his height. He just went in there. He's a perfect example, really, of accept yourself, believe in yourself hard enough, and go for it. He's a living example of what it looks like. Close in our environment. You know him. The Christians know him. The sinners know him. The children know him. The adults know him. Everybody knows him. How come nobody knows you in that way? Yet all he traded with was self-acceptance and self-belief. And he became. Take a look in your environment. Look at that girl in your classroom that's getting the highest marks. Most studies. Just take a good long look at her and wonder about her. What is it about her that makes her outstand? Understudy her without her knowing. You will realize that you were just missing it at very phenomenal stuff. At very simple things. The difference between you and her could be as simple as self-belief. Could be as simple as self-belief, not even IQ levels, just as simple as self-belief. And the efforts that she has taken in her self-belief to begin to prepare herself for this academic journey. Look at the next person. The next time you encounter somebody you think is better than you, don't be quick to think, be quick to wonder, what is it about this person? How is it they are getting these results in life? What am I not doing that they are doing to get them to where they are? So accept yourself. Accept how you are. Go for it. When in the first season of Le Premier, when we were still younger, Coach said, authors are nothing save for the men and women that have valued their thoughts hard enough to begin to pen them down. He blew me out of the waters. He simplified success thoroughly to me. He simplified what an author is. Look, an author is not Napoleon Hill. An author is not who else? One of the authors that we know. An author is not Miles Monroe. Any other author anybody knows? An author is not Napoleon Hill. An author is not Peter Drucker. No. An author is you and the thoughts that go on in your head, and you valuing yourself hard enough to sit with a pen and a paper and begin to document them. Simple. Simple. That's how I have penned out so many books, because somebody taught me the formula. They demystified success, because there's no mystery to success. It's as simple as ABC. There is no mystery to it. It's as simple as self-belief. It's as simple as accepting yourself. It's as simple as valuing your thoughts hard enough to begin to pen them down. And you're going to buy it. You are also even going to see now, when we speak about scaling in business, a book becomes a program, and at the program you still buy the book. I kill twice from one thing. You see how it works? Self-belief. Even I don't feel guilty by charging you twice. It's value. If you want it, take it. If you don't, step. It's value. It will benefit your life. Question is, do you love yourself hard enough to think you deserve value? Do you love yourself hard enough to sponsor yourself with people that have figured something out? Do you love yourself hard enough with people that look, if V had a book, I would have bought it. Because for me, he was a case study. I wondered about that young man. Did you see what I did? Don't tell him. I wondered about that young man. I wondered about him. I was blown away by him. Right? So he demystified success, and I hope I'm doing the same for you today. Success is so simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's as simple as self-belief. It's as simple as accepting yourself. The second thing I want you to take away is take responsibility. Tell your neighbor, take responsibility. You are to be your greatest cheerleader. So do it, be it, and do it. Nobody is coming for you from next door. People are busy hoping they too become something, for them to worry about you. For them to worry about you, for them to have an extra minute to spare and think about you. We are thinking about cracking our own success codes for us to worry about you. So take responsibility for your own becoming. I'm too busy writing my next book for my next program after this one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, my calendar for 2026 is set. Make you feel good about yourself. Right? People are too busy dreaming, also stuck up in themselves and hoping that they become something for them to have anything to spare. So take responsibility. This is you taking responsibility, and I commend you for it. You buying my book is you taking responsibility about your becoming, and I commend you for it. You coming to my program on the 8th of November is you taking responsibility for your becoming, and I commend you for it. You sitting down to understudy people that have made it in whatever arena of life is you taking responsibility, and I really commend you for it. So take responsibility. Do intentionally things that will endorse you in your self-belief. Oh yes, you should see me when I'm watching myself on TV. Did I tell you I'm on TV? I'm on every social media platform. Yes, this is one of the closing statements I'm going to use or remind me to close this session with it. A statement that we learned from Coach. Or maybe let me say it now. He says, if your confidence does not seem like pride, you have not started. So I know most are sitting here and most say, it's confidence that has taken a milestone for me to arrive at. So I'm not about to dismiss it cheaply. I'm sure. Right. It took a lot for me to be in this place. So he says, if your confidence does not borderline pride, you have not begun. So you should catch me when I'm watching myself back on the television or listening to one of my radio interviews or catching me in those moments when I was at BTD, CNN, I'm getting there. Right? Oftentimes, when I get into those moments, I chase the children. I tell people to keep quiet and be still. And I watch back and I'm amazed at this powerhouse before me. I understood every building block that went into creating this species. You should get to that place with yourself, where you are at awe of yourself. Natota. Your kids are from that background. Natota. Your kids have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Is this me? Right? You should arrive at that place where more than anybody else in this world, you are your biggest cheerleader. You are your biggest, best cheerleader. I don't care who says what anymore. I believe, and that is enough. I believe, and that is enough. And so I watch back. Who did he make? Because I want to take it all in. I want to take it all in because I understand the journey that it took to arriving there. So, become your biggest cheerleader. Take responsibility. Own it. Do it for yourself, right? Growing in self-belief, ladies and gentlemen, is work. So work it. Begin now. Begin now and attain your biggest milestones a little earlier in life while you still have time, right? Third thing, kick excuses goodbye. Stop giving excuses. Stop excusing why things aren't the way they are supposed to be. Kick excuses goodbye. Kick excuses goodbye. There's a story, one of my favorite in the Bible, about a man who sat by a well 38 years. 38 years he sat by a well, hoping somebody will come and rescue him from himself. When Jesus came around him, how come you've been sitting here all this while? Don't you want to be okay? Guess what the Bible records him saying? He said, I do not have anybody to help me. The nerve. I do not have anybody to help me. 38 years. He never got the memo that nobody is coming. Nobody. Can you tell your neighbor nobody's coming for you? This is as best as you will get somebody coming for you. By taking the effort to go into places that will build you up. That man sat for 38 years with the hopes that somebody will come and rescue him. But nobody was coming. That was his biggest excuse. One he bought into and believed for 38 years. 38 years. Believing a lie he created for himself that somebody was coming. Nobody was coming. And nobody came. Well, Jesus came. Bye. But even when Jesus came, guess what Jesus did? Jesus never tumbled that man into the lake, the miracle well. Jesus never laid his hand on that man and delivered him and said, no, Jesus said, pick up your bed and walk. Take responsibility for your life and become. Pick up your bed and walk. I'm not going to pick it up for you. Pick it up yourself and walk. Nobody is going to become on your behalf. Nobody is going to attain your dreams for you on your behalf. Pick up your bed and walk. Become what you want to become. The sooner you start, the better, because then you have something to refine, to perfect. They say practice makes perfect. So get into it and begin to hone your talent, your ability, yourself. And the last thing, express your self-belief. Express your self-belief. Self-belief bears fruit outward, ladies and gentlemen. We will see that you have self-belief by the fruits that you are going to bear. How now I believe in myself, but you have nothing to show for self-belief. We don't care about what happens inside you. We see only what is outwardly expressed. So the fruit of self-belief is like a V who ventures into music, who ventures into water, who ventures into bread, who ventures into whatever other ventures he has ventured into. Fruits. Let your self-belief bear fruits, or we will begin to think you don't believe in yourself. Because there's no telling what's inside a person except for the fruits they give us to judge. The Bible says, you will know them by their fruit. You will know those that believe in themselves by their fruit. You will know the people that don't believe in themselves by their lack of fruit. And you will know them that believe in themselves by the fruits they begin to bear. Fruits of their dreams becoming a reality. Fruits of books penned down. Fruits of songs written and sang and performed. Fruits of beautiful things that can only come from a person that takes a chance on themselves. So express your self-belief. Don't pretend to be humble and shy. I always tell my girls that shyness is a waste of time. Shy, that's a waste of time. Put that thing aside and get into it. Begin to run. Shyness is a waste of time. Oh, shyness is a waste of time. Have you ever seen a shy child? Put a shy child this side, put a confident child this side. Clever child, but they can't even express themselves. Because shyness is a robber of destinies. Stop being shy. Go for opportunities. Take them. Refine yourself as you go. You will definitely get better. You will definitely become. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, self-belief is the engine of success. It is the engine of success. It is the stuff that success is made up of. It gives you confidence against all odds. It doesn't matter who believes what you believe. If you believe, that's enough. The Bible again says, all things are possible to him that believes. All things are possible to the man or the woman that believes. That's all it takes. Self-belief. It gives energy when everything else is falling apart. Oh, self-belief will sponsor you. What is sponsored work? Self-belief is the sponsor. It's the sponsor that keeps you stepping and stepping and stepping and stepping towards your destination. Self-belief is what will encourage you in the midst of failure and disappointments. Won't you take a chance and believe in yourself? So if you don't believe in yourself, seriously. Right? Right? I'm too busy believing in myself to believe in yourself for you. You are too busy believing in yourself to believe in your neighbor for them. It observes the overall law of life, that our lives are our responsibilities. Our lives are our sole responsibilities. And we need to work them if ever we want them to become anything. So I'm going to stop there. And I hope you have picked something tonight. Yes. Oh, wow. Wow. I really hope you have learned something tonight. Self-belief is the building blocks of the best of the best. They're not even better than us in terms of skill if it were to be measured on a scale. They're just better in that they believed and took a step. that they believed and took a step. Nobody can be the best at being you like you. Challenge is lack of self-belief in expressing your uniqueness to the world. Take on self-belief and let's win. Win in your lane. I win in my lane. V continues to win in his lane. There's room up there. You know how the teachers always say there's room for improvement? There's room up there for every single one of us. There's room for each star to shine. Madam MC, thank you so much. You tell me. Anybody wants to ask anything? I have tickets? Yes, please come up. I want you to speak into my mic. Come on, clap for her. Yes. Oh, aren't you tall and beautiful? Nice.
Hello, everyone. Kibidwa Lesego. So when you started, I had a question. Isn't it that sometimes when you have self-belief, it seems like you are overly confident? Something like that. So you answered that very well. But then maybe if I can ask this how do you remain humble while you are self-believing?
Wow. Yeah, let's Humility is a state of heart. You will know when you are out of the mark. You will know when you've taken haughtiness upon yourself. And you will know when you are just purely operating on confidence and self-belief that took years, that you've paid a price for. You're not also about to chip in that so you can come across as though you are humble to the next person who is not even in again to pay the price for their self-belief. We pay a price for self-belief. So when I treat it with utter jealousy and seriousness, I'm not being proud. I'm being understanding, right? But when I step into pride, I will also know. And I like to say this, life is spiritual, really. Life is spiritual and people will sense it. When you are proud, people will know and they will not connect with you where it matters the most. Right? So come at life with all humility, but come at it with all confidence. Because life is not for the weak. It's not designed for the weak rather, not meek. Meek means gentleness, but for the weak. It's not. Life eats the weak. It eats up the people that lack confidence. They are the ones that no, let me not say that. Can we applaud her for that? Yeah. Anybody else wants to ask anything? Yes, please. No, come here. My mic captures into the online, so you need to use it. Clap for her, by the way. Take your time, child. Take your time, right? Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Boipelo, and I wanted to ask about something. You said shyness robs someone's destiny, and I wanted to know how can someone break off that shyness from them.
Clap for her, right? Self-belief. Self-belief is the cure for shyness, you know. Sit with yourself. See your strengths. See your strengths. Gotta get to know yourself. Understand the value that you bring to the table, right? Understand the value that you embody. That will sponsor you into self-belief and out of shyness. We are shy because we haven't come to see exactly who we are, right? So we hide because we do not know our strengths. We do not know the treasures we carry. We do not know the value we are bringing to the table. But if you know what to say, you know, it sponsors your confidence. So sit with yourself and get to know yourself. Value your thoughts. Listen to yourself. Think. One day I'm going to do a masterclass on journaling because journaling will change your life, right? Sit with yourself. Journal. Speak to yourself. Draw strength from inside. Don't feed from the environment. That is not sustainable. Feed from inside of you, and you will have enough to sponsor and to build your self-belief on. Utlamana Shina's husband will go out naturally. Will go out naturally. Come on, clap for her. You are welcome. I hope that helps. Please take this. Come to my event, okay? You too, come. Definitely. Definitely. I like women who ask questions. So man, thank you so much. Please come. Please come. Let's learn. Let's learn. Look. Ooh, you are welcome. Come down here. Come down here. Come down. Look, they say the questions you ask determine the conversations you will have. When you see a person, get into their knowledge base through a question. Ask a question and it will spark a conversation, right? And trust yourself that your questions are valuable enough. Sit with yourself. Hi, please introduce yourself and ask your question.
Good evening. My name is Patimo, and I have a question for you. If you tried to build that self-belief and gave up on the race, and how do you encourage yourself to get back up and try and believe in yourself and get that confidence back?
That's a hard question. Can we clap for her? Maybe before I answer it, what do you think? What do you think you should do in such a situation? Kind of at the end of the day, life boils down to you. So, in other words, you need to come out of such a situation. So, what are you going to attempt to do?
Well, I believe I have tried to observe what you do together with Coach and read here and there to see what other people have tried to do to try and fix that, but I'm kind of failing to apply that in my life.
Well, it's like we're saying, look, we can only learn from the next person, but there's no one size fits all. Sit with yourself also. Coach is thriving because he's living from a place that's true inside of him. That's a principle. Take the principle, not the method, the principle. I'm thriving only because I'm standing in my area of. If you bring mathematics here, you will see how very lack of self-belief, and I won't look as cute as I do now. I'll be sweating and because that's not my forte, that's not my area. But if you throw me into the arena of my strength, I'm gonna finish you, right? So get the principle. The principle is find your area of strength and build yourself, understand your value in the place of your strength. That's what will help you walk into a room with your head held high, right? That's what will help you walk into a room with your head held high. Musad. Can we clap our hands for her? Well, it will be good to have a gentleman, right? 1, 2, 3. All three of you, come here. Please, if you don't mind, because we need to speak into my mic. You two say, you've changed your mind. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Introduce yourself and your question.
My name is Brian Sibanda, the man who's always on top of the food chain. I think my question is with self-belief. Sometimes, I've had situations where, you meet a girl and you're so confident that she's going to say yes. You've got this self-belief and you go, you shoot your shot and she shoots you down, and despite you having all the self-belief in your charisma, all the stuff that you have, relating that to real life, sometimes we have dreams, ambitions, we have so much self-belief, but sometimes you have self-belief in the wrong thing or wrong direction, and you'll do it for 10 years, but it doesn't work out, and you had self-belief in the wrong thing. My question is, how do you accurately build right and have self-belief in what you should be having self-belief in?
Wow. I guess he spoke for a lot of us. I didn't need to encourage you to clap your hands for him. Look, everything is a process that we arrive at. There was one day, me and Coach were doing an event with our team, right? Well into it, maybe hundreds of thousands and or whatever, millions even. And I don't know, in review, some of the things were hard lessons, but we quickly refused to term it as failure. We just said it was investment into a lesson. So everything, it's like an onion. You peel and keep peeling into goodness. It's a process in self-discovery. It's you coming to know that which is yours, that which is for you, that nothing is ever a loss in the journey of success. Even what sometimes we term as failure is not failure, is just realizations. So you're not failing. You thought that could be it, but the closer you get, and when she also helps you with a no and a rejection, it opens you up to another dimension of yourself. A strength that you could have never understood you had, save for that rejection coming your way. So life is beautiful. Life is fair. Life works itself out. Just take it as it comes and choose to be a student through it all. So we don't fail. We only discover. We only make discoveries. Some painful, not painful, expensive lessons, some cheap, some very long lessons, some short, but it's all lessons nonetheless as we come to the best of ourselves. There's a follow-up. Go. There was another question. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi, guys. My name is Wilfred. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you about this. What I've realized is that as you try and believe in yourself, you realize that you have some blockages. For example, the reason why, in my case, the reason why maybe I will lack some self-belief in some areas is because I would realize, or I have realized that I have identified with a situation that maybe has happened way back. For example, I have this thought, which is like a story of me as a little boy who was left or abandoned by their dad. So that has actually just acted as a big, it's like all the stories always go back there, where my dad left me, and then I find myself recreating the situations, maybe with my friends, or maybe with even in school. I just find reasons to say, yeah, I'm not worth it because my dad left me. So that's like a really big blockage in really believing in myself. So I want to know, like, what are these tools or steps that you have used for you personally to actually overcome that blockage?
Thank you. Wow. Wow. It's a difficult question, right? I've sometimes been accused of being very brutal in counseling sessions, right? Because I also came to a place of appreciating that, look, victimization, and I say this very gently, but victimization will only take us that far, so far. It happened, so what? Right? 30 years later, 20 years later, refuse to be that person that's left. Refuse to enable people to leave you now when you have the power to change the narrative. Refuse it. It happened to you, so what? The other day I was speaking to somebody who was feeling sorry for themselves because their mom passed away in their hands at 7 years old. They'd gone and lived with a family that didn't love them. Rather, meanwhile, they built in that place. They put electricity for that family. They put water. And I'm like, look at all of these things. It depends where you are looking at it from. Is the cup half empty or half full? That speaks of your strength. You've been a leader since 7 years old. Situations brought it out of you. You can sit down and feel sorry for yourself, or you can hit yourself on the chest and say, at 7 years old, I single-handedly laid my mom to rest. That is a strength. That is a power that nobody can take from you. Your dad left when you were a baby. You raised yourself up. One day he will turn around and see you and feel sorry for having left such a treasure. So you can sit down and enable the pain to eat at your soul, or you can spin it around and draw power from it. Refuse to be a victim of life. Be at the helm of it and control the narrative. Drive it. Drive it. Drive it. And you will win. Everything that happens to us in life, ladies and gentlemen, is life giving us tools. Question is, what are we going to do with these tools? Are we going to use them to beat ourselves down? Or are we going to use them to forge a way forward? It's all tools. Your dead living was a tool in your hands. There's so many you can speak to and show them that being left does not mean life is done. Look at me now. He left me at 2, I'm 20. Look at me now. It's possible. So forge a way forward with that tool. Don't use it to beat yourself down. Don't borrow it to other people to beat you down too. Use it to forge your way forward. Come on, put your hands for me. Yeah. So, yes. Come and speak on my mic. We are wrapping up. This will be the last person. This will be. Look, you are university students.
Yes. No, it's not a question. But okay. Hi. Was it Wilfred? Yes. I would love to comment on that. Wilfred. Okay, can I see you? Yeah, there you are. Okay. So I've been in your situation, right? Like I've been in a situation where like I was even suicidal about the matter. I nearly like jumped off jumped off something, right? So yeah. So like she was saying, it comes back to channeling your power, right? Like tell the situation who you are. Tell it who you are. I ended up, like having a meeting with myself. I told myself, okay, he left, but then what am I going to do about it, right? So I was like, okay, maybe like his purpose was to bring me to earth. Here I am. What am I going to do about it? So, ride on that. Be yourself. Exactly, right? Just, yeah.
Yeah. He did his part. Yeah. He did his part. Look, before we go, just anybody, all of you, reach under your chair. I have a surprise for one of us. One more surprise, one person. Look for something under your chair. Nothing. If you have it, wave it. Come on. Wave it. Yeah. Please come to my event, okay? Come to my event. You will be doing a good thing. Definitely come. And all of you, buy the tickets. And all of you, when you get there, carry an extra cash, you're going to buy the book. And the first book I published, it was a very tiny book. But I held it and I said, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. This is the proof that anything is possible. It was not in the side of the book. It was in the book itself. So come. Everything in life, every encounter is a building block in your story of success. So I love you. We are falling in love. It's getting there, right? It's getting there. We are falling in love and it's getting there. Thank you for being such a great audience. MC, thank you.
Alrighty, what a wonderful session, right? Very great session. So just like we were here today, we'll be here next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. So please make sure you come and bring a friend, right? Let this whole place be filled, right? So if these teachings, whatever this is beneficial and working for you, make sure to keep on coming through, right? We love having you guys. And outside for you, we have refreshments. So you can go outside, grab something to eat, network a bit, talk to someone that you've never talked to before and get to know each other, right? So we'll be back here next week, Tuesday at 6. Let's be on time. Thank you. Oh, yes. Follow her on the socials, TikTok, Instagram at... Got it, right? So we'll do that. Thank you, guys. You can go.